Hey there. I shared this meme because I think that, you know, Labor's doing a pretty good job in our country, and I'm not stressed about what our government's doing. And they said something like, "Yeah, but they're not doing enough about the environment." And I just wanted to touch on a few things. First of all, we did just pass the environmental protection reforms. We're now going to have a federal EPA, and that's great. It'll have powers that, like, the minister by himself, he didn't have all of the power before. He's sort of handcuffed by some of the legalities of being a minister. Um, if he came out and said, I don't like coal, I don't like gas, then the coal and gas companies can say that he declined their ability to do a gas well or something because of ideological reasons, not because of merit. So there's actually a legal reason there as to why, Murray Watt, as the Minister for the Environment, can't do things that, a Labour person or a Greens person might think are morally right. Like, oh, just stop oil. And it's like, well, you got to change the legislation to allow me to do that, I guess. And yeah, with a Greens slanted EPA, um, I suppose we have stronger environmental protection that's actually environmental protection and not, if it was liberal, then it would have been more like business, which, not great. And I just wanted to point out that mining's really big, and we all know that mining's really big, but it's really big. This is in terms of billions, sorry, millions. So 240 billion 2022, 2023, down to 176 billion 23 and 24. Now, why is that number gone down so much? Well, it's probably got something to do with the fact that workers are getting more, so companies making a bit less of their profit and going to their corporate masters. So yeah, the mining industry has less profit, but the workers are probably doing a bit better. There was one in particular, thanks to the Fair Work, not Fair Work, thanks to the same job, same pay, that I think they went up like 30 grand or 50 grand or so. It was tens of thousands of dollars extra for these workers that were on dodgy labor hire contracts. So, you know, that's probably why they're not doing so hot. Also, global economy. Global economy. So, this is from Independent Australia. It's a great piece about why Australia's economy is just so damn good under Jim Chalmers. He does a really good job. He's a doctor. And he's not super beholden to corporate interests. He's beholden to many large corporate interests, not just like one or two. So he actually does a pretty good job. Independent Australia, they need your help. They have a GoFundMe. I'll put a link in the description. Uh, please do what you can. They need like 60 grand to keep the lights on, and they're only at about 30. So please help them out. They're one of the very, very few independent outlets. Um, and ah, and just one last thing. You might recall that we're giving billions of dollars to the mining corporations. Um, just by the way, uh, most, if not all of that, is like fuel tax credits, and they actually make a bit of sense. I'd have a hard time. Um, you'd have to say, oh, we're just not going to do that anymore because it's too expensive. Because, okay, the idea is we all pay into a fuel tax, yeah? And so that means, you pay it as you're driving around because you're wearing and tearing on the roads. So federal government gets the money from the fuel levy and they use it to maintain highways. Okay, cool. But what if you have an off-road vehicle like a big tractor or a combine harvester or a mining vehicle? It's not driving on public roads. Why should I be taxed through my fuel that I'm taxed at point of sale? So what they do is they go, okay, well, you paid for $50 of fuel, 50 liters of fuel, and we charged you 30 cents a liter, so you can have 30 cents a liter back for that fuel. Yeah, you can have it back at tax time, and that's how that works. And it makes sense that they're not using the public roads, and therefore they shouldn't be taxed for the public roads. you could just argue, okay, from now on it's an environment tax, and I don't care if you're doing it on road or off road or whatever. Screw you. You could just do that. Probably you'd have to phase it out over 2 or 3 years or something, but yeah, that's what that is. So I wasn't aware what the tax was, what we were giving them billions of dollars for. It's not some magic handshake with the mining industry. It's with anyone who uses a vehicle off road for business. Yeah, just thought that was interesting because, like, I learned that from, I don't know, some Redditor. Yeah, I'm not looking into tax codes. I'm just whinging about things I believe in. Have a good one.